you and your family the best in 2024, filled with good health, happiness, and prosperity. You'll receive this message somewhere in the phone if you're a smartphone with emoji, maybe heart shake, maybe smiling, maybe clap, maybe celebration. Sometimes we got those messages to celebrate that auspicious day. Let me tell you about my story. When we were kids, we don't have the messaging system. It's Diwali, just like a Christmas. We were excited about a day. Long before Diwali, we start making cards, greeting cards. Take a scissor, cut the cards, draw art on the card, and write down the wishing notes to our family and friends. Later we learn, oh, we have more family friends. We started using a trace paper so we can trace our same art on different cards. While doing this, we grown up getting more bigger family. We learn using MSN, Hotmail. Okay, easy. Texting and send email to the friend. You can create the cards. When you're creating it, oh, we have a lot of people. We learn CC, BCC, which is carbon copy of blind carbon copy. Everyone sees, yes, it is. The card, what we get, it's for us only, not for somebody else. It will give us energy, but eventually nowadays we have this phone, we have the WhatsApp. I learn, oh, we can send messages on a click to everyone. But did you know we can broadcast the same messages, happiness and health, to everyone at a time? It's a click of a moment. But when we get that message, what makes you? You get happy. Yes, you feel important. Somebody sent a message to me of, about my health, happiness, and prosperity. You think, oh, he's so caring about me. Maybe not. He or she is sending the message in a broadcast to hundreds of people, and you are the one recipient. When you and me are happy, you know why we're happy? Because our soul says, yes, it is happy. So my question to you is, what makes you happy is your soul feels happy because of your health, wealth, and prosperity. So why not? Are you taking any actions to do something about health? Are you doing something about your happiness or wealth? Yes, someone sent a wish list. I wish you and your family. But what is wish? Wish is only a bare fantasy about the big things. Wish has a lack of actions about desired outcome. There's another dream also. We dream to have a inspire and motivate. We dream, but still have an weight, even action towards that. Wishes and dream doesn't give the outcome. The only outcome to our life goes in action. With participation, decision making, and perseverance towards health, wealth, and prosperity. I started doing it. I walk every day 5 miles a day. That's what my goal about my health, about prosperity. I like to get gratitude every single day. Connected the people like you, motivated, inspired me like Toastmaster Club. That is giving me prosperity. Wealth, definitely. I need to work on my own business. What someone says, wisdom begins in wonder. So I learn how to increase the sales of my restaurant. I am the only person who is responsible for my health, wealth, and prosperity. If I'm not taking action towards that things, wish is a wish, Dream is a dream. Forget about the result. No result. So what are you thinking? Do you want to take one action towards your health, wealth, and prosperity? Otherwise, someone send another message end of the year to you. Say, hey, wishing you and your family the best in 2024, filled with good health, happiness, and prosperity. So go and take action. So there is no wish, there's only action. Any small action make a difference.
Title of my speech is Thomas Jefferson, Pros and Cons. I've been struggling with my opinion of our third president, Thomas Jefferson. I lived in Washington, D.C. for several years and actually lived in Northern Virginia and drove into Washington, D.C., but could see the Jefferson Memorial on my way to work. And I'm thinking that maybe we have glorified this president too much. There's a controversy swirling around many of our former presidents and leaders. And I want to present today some of the pros and cons of his life and work and see if you've got an opinion about it as well. Just some food for thought today. On the pro side, he is considered one of our founding fathers of our country. He wrote most of the Declaration of Independence, although he borrowed quite a bit of language from John Locke and others. And then it was edited by the Continental Congress. He was a minister to France. When George Washington was president, he was Secretary of State. He was elected the third president of the United States, and he did a lot of good things as president, including he completed the Louisiana Purchase, which almost doubled the size of our country. Throughout his lifetime, he was an advocate for religious freedom. He wrote that Jews and Muslims should have the ability to worship in their own manner, which actually created quite a bit of controversy in his lifetime. There were a lot of people that wanted only Christians, and some wanted only an Anglican church. He advocated for a Bill of Rights to be added to the Constitution. He was a lifelong advocate of education and helped create the University of Virginia. Here was a surprising thing. During his lifetime, early in his lifetime, he pushed for the Northwest Ordinance, which banned slaves in the new U.S. territories. Later in life, he was not so much of an advocate. He supported more of the South and the practice of slavery. However, there are many negatives to enter on the con side. He was a lifelong slave owner and probably during his life had 600 slaves. He kept a slave woman as his concubine or mistress, Sally Hemings. Don't know if you know this story.
Yes.
He had 6 children with her, and 4 lived into adulthood as slaves in his household. It turns out that Sally was his wife's half sister. So her father was Thomas Jefferson's father-in-law. He had had children with slaves. And so she was related as a half sister to his wife, but remained a slave. He did not free any of his 4 children until the end of his life, and they moved away. And then the family denied any relation to those people. His descendants then fought his other descendants from his wife who had died earlier. Those grew up and fought in the Civil War. Now, DNA evidence has clearly confirmed that Thomas Jefferson had many descendants that the family had denied and history had denied for many years. Also, unlike George Washington, he did not free any of his slaves other than those that I mentioned. When he was Secretary of State and afterwards, George Washington grew to distrust him. Jefferson was critical of Washington. He wrote pamphlets and news articles, very critical of Washington, and then denied it, but Washington knew because of his spy network that Jefferson had done them. And later in life, he quit talking to Jefferson totally. George Washington never forgave the treachery and backstabbing that Jefferson performed against him. Also, if you've seen Hamilton, he opposed the National Bank and argued constantly with Alexander Hamilton. It's very interesting that during his lifetime, he wrote that slavery was a great evil. But despite believing that, the person who wrote the Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal, kept many slaves to maintain his beautiful home and rich lifestyle. In fact, he ran up a huge debt during his life. And then when he died, all of his slaves went to his wife and her family. Have you been to Monticello and seen that? It's in Charlottesville, Virginia. Beautiful mansion. What do we make of Thomas Jefferson? The Jefferson Memorial is a beautiful structure, elegant architecture. It has a huge statue of Thomas Jefferson. It sits on this beautiful tidal basin surrounded by cherry trees. However, I believe it may glorify him too much. Over time, our country may decide to modify and rectify this memorial and make it more in praise of the Declaration of Independence. Who knows? At his home in Virginia, however, at Monticello, it's a totally different thing. Now there's plenty of information about the slaves and the slave quarters. You can hear the entire story of Sally Hemings and also Thomas Jefferson and their children together. Madam Toastmaster.